my own business, what's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke, if you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put 2 dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coons. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
Queen.
sense.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queen.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Amadeus.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Amadeus.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They're trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Amadeus.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Amadeus.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
In my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all in Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get mad. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat.
This is the sound of Eric Malcolm.
It's a cut on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threat. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans, and I got
allow losers to rewrite history. It's God's side and the other side. Country bumpkin black dude that can't talk good over cabbage and look like Mr. Potato Head.
I didn't want to be a movie star.
No, you couldn't be a movie star. Ricky Smiley can't act. Cause Ricky Smiley can't act. Why is he in a dress again? He didn't be wanting to Barbie. And you gotta tell him no. Sid ain't got no special, you remember? Eve ain't got no special, you remember? Ricky ain't got no special, you remember? Sir, I have 12 comedy specials. P. Diddy or whoever you is. TVJ, 20 of them. I won't stop burning you down until there ain't nothing left. Rubble on top of rubble and I'll still be bombing. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no. Look like a wall, Richard. Look like a wall. You didn't say no.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to the Queen Amadaj Shakur TV show. I'm your host, Queen Amadaj Shakur, and this is your second morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, if you don't like what the Queen is cooking, you already know what to do. Okay, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A Shakur, TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, and Twitter at DGoddess27. All right, hey, Miss Peaches, RG Titan, Timber Dan in the house, Juju. Okay, Juju B is in here. Say Queen is Queen and Pearly. Walaikum Salam, Danielle Beloved, Lana L, RGB, Courtney J, Nessie X, Nasia. Vince, I am from the UK. Bithia is in here, Capricornus. All right, the Prince of Paraphernalia, One Who Cares, Aboriginal Woman. Okay, let's get into it. Everyone, please get those likes up. Shout out to my moderators putting in work. That Crazy Beach Aries is in the house. Deronda, December, Terry Hinton, Easy, 770, 7700. I'm sorry. Rafael is here. Okay, so let's get into it. I see you, Emperor Rex. All right. So first things first. So let's talk about it. Because a man who has lived in a New York City hotel rent-free for 5 years may finally have to move out. First of all, how is he living in this place for 5 years? Okay, for free. A New Yorker successfully lived in the iconic New Yorker hotel building for half a decade without paying a single cent in rent. But finally, the jig is up. Police arrested Mickey Barretto last week and charged him with filing fraudulent property records after attempting to claim ownership of said hotel. Now, I've heard of squatting, but this is going to a whole nother level. Please pay attention. Prosecutors say Barretto, who skirted rent payments by exploiting a little-known local housing law, tried to charge another tenant in the building rent. So he wasn't paying rent, but it's going to charge somebody else. The nefariousness of it all. Now, for the Manhattan District Attorney, it was the last straw. They say, as alleged, Mickey Barretto, repeatedly and fraudulently claimed ownership of one of the city's most iconic landmarks. This is what the New Yorker Hotel says. Now, Alvin Bragg, Manhattan District Attorney, also said in a statement that basically he was doing this for over 5 years. Now, Barretto's residency at the hotel dates back to 2018, when he first learned about the New York City's rent stabilization code, which grants tenants who live in individual rooms in buildings built prior to 1969 the right to request a 6-month lease. Having brought a room in the hotel for the night, Barretto determined that he was, in fact, a tenant. However, when he requested a lease from the hotel, he was promptly evicted. Barretto sued the Holy Spirit Association for the Unification of World Christianity, who brought the hotel in 1976. Despite the initial denial by a judge, the case escalated to the state Supreme Court. In the end, Barretto won his appeal by default because the building's owners didn't show up for the trial. While the hotel was ordered to give Barretto a key, the two parties never agreed on a lease term. As Barretto couldn't be evicted, he lived at the hotel until July of 2023 without ever paying a dime in rents. The DA said that over the years, Barretto has falsely portrayed himself as the hotel's owner and attempted to profit from the building. Running a whole scam. You know what? I hope he was saving up that money that he saved from not paying rent for all those years. Now, this included registering the hotel under his name with the New York City Department of Environmental Protection as part of an effort to transfer the hotel's bank accounts to himself. Oh, honey, it's the audacity of some people for me. Now, in 2019, the Unification Church also sued Barreto for representing himself as the hotel's owner on LinkedIn and uploading a forged deed to a city website. The case is ongoing, and in the interim, Barreto has been instructed to abstain from asserting ownership of the building. Business Insider reached out to Barreto through his company, Mickey Barreto Missions, but didn't hear back before the publication. They say, I never intended to, this is what he says, I never intended to commit any fraud. Sure you didn't. We believe you. I don't believe I ever committed any fraud. And I never made a penny out of this. Yeah, except for the money you made charging other people rent. When reached for comment by BI and the NYPD, I think that should be by the FBI, I would imagine. But anyway, they directed questions to the district attorney's office. Now, what do y'all think about this? I told you these squatters, they be knowing so much about the foreclosure laws and all of that. This is all so crazy. This I am saying allegedly. This is all crazy to me. My thing is, I'm shocked that he not only got away with it, but for 5 whole years. Please make it all make sense. But, I guess people have fallen upon hard times. And so, therefore, he had to do what he had to do. And clearly that must be the case, because otherwise, why would an 83-year-old man be connected to several suburban bank robberies? And he was arrested after a Valentine's Day heist, according to the FBI. Let's get into it. An elderly man and his younger accomplice have been arrested after a Valentine's Day bank robbery. According to a recently filed FBI criminal complaint, 83-year-old Donald Bennett and 55-year-old Edward Benner may be connected to a series of armed bank robberies that started in the summer of 2023. They say Bennett was previously convicted in 1989 of multiple Chicago area bank robberies. He was also convicted for an assault with a deadly weapon in 1967 in Kentucky. Bennett was recently released from prison in 2020 after serving a 31-year sentence, according to the FBI. So still living a whole life of crime. I find this all interesting. This man is 83 years old and he's still at it. Please pay attention. Now, the complaint alleges Bennett and Benner met each other while serving time in federal prison. There are 7 bank robberies at Chase, Fifth Third banks being investigated by the FBI, which are possibly connected to Bennett and Benner. The first 2 were on June the 27th and August the 25th in Oak Lawn, followed by a November the 1st robbery in Lombard. And then there was a November the 29th bank robbery in Willowbrook, and then another on December the 1st in Tinley Park. The new year saw a January 26th bank robbery in Glen Ellen. They were busy. The final heist that led to the alleged duo's downfall was a Valentine's Day heist on February the 14th in Hickory Hills, in which the robbers used fake wigs. I knew wig was involved. Please pay attention. I knew there had to be at least one of those wigs involved. But let me continue. They used fake wigs and face coverings. Bennett was arrested Thursday and is currently awaiting a detention hearing that will be held at 1:30 p.m. February the 22nd. This is all crazy. Let me show you all a brief clip so you can see what he looks like. I knew wig had something to do with it. One of those wigs clearly put him up to it. Please pay attention. Please pay attention.
The elderly man and his accomplice have been arrested after a Valentine's Day bank robbery. According to the FBI, 83-year-old Donald Bennett and 55-year-old Edward Beinert may be connected to a series of armed bank robberies starting last summer. Bennett, seen in both of these pictures, was previously convicted in 1989 for multiple Chicago area bank robberies. He was released from prison in 2020 after serving a 31-year sentence.
No, I'm sorry. But this is absolutely egregious, okay? Vince I.M. said the bigotry nonsense continues. Yes. 83 years old out here robbing banks. Also nefarious. But anyway, speaking of nefarious, let's talk about Metro Atlanta residents convicted in an $11.1 million PPP loan fraud scheme. Teldrin Foster, a Decatur resident, and Carla Jackson, a Tucker resident, have been convicted by a jury for their involvement in schemes to steal Paycheck Protection Program funds, and that's PPP, during the stupid 19 pandemic. Foster faces charges including wire fraud, bank fraud, conspiracy, making false statements, and money laundering, totaling 14 counts. Jackson, on the other hand, was charged with 2 counts of money laundering. After a 7-day trial, both defendants were found guilty on all counts. The 16-defendant indictment, comprising 63 felony counts, alleged various conspiracies among the defendants and a wider investigation into PPP fund theft. The investigation has resulted in the convictions of 23 out of 24 defendants charged during this probe, with the final case still pending. Now, Foster, working with co-defendant Daryl Thomas, was found to have fraudulently obtained at least 14 loans between April 2020 and August 2020, totaling over $11.1 million. And this is just pure greed, okay? Unadulterated greed, no other excuse. Now, the loan applications contain false information about businesses, operations, employees, and payroll expenses, using fabricated documents to support their claims. To conceal and launder the stolen funds, Jackson played a role by receiving over $300,000 into her business's bank account. The funds were disguised through check and wire transfer transactions, falsely claiming they were for consulting fees, daily business management, and payroll services. Now, the case has been investigated by multiple federal agencies, including the FBI, IRS Criminal Investigation, U.S. Treasury Inspector General for tax administration, and the Small Business Administration Office of the Inspector General. The prosecution team includes Assistant U.S. Attorneys Tal Chaikin, Samir Kaushal, and Nathan Kitchens, along with trial attorney Sajid Moore from the Criminal Division's Fraud Section. The Super 19 Fraud Enforcement Task Force, established in May of 2021, aims to combat and prevent pandemic-related fraud, enhancing the Department of Justice's efforts. Now, anyone with information regarding attempted fraud involving Super 19 is encouraged to report it to the Department of Justice's National Center for Disaster Fraud Hotline. Ooh, honey, they were busy. I mean, I don't know. This is just nonsensical to me when people do things like this, because how do you, in fact, ever think that you're going to get away with these things? It's just insidiously obtuse to me. You really think you're going to get $11.1 million and you're just going to run off scot-free into the sunset and that's the end of it? Please make it all make sense. I'm sorry. It's a no for me with the foolishness. Now let's talk about Boosie, because Boosie called out Clive Davis. He called out Clive Davis for what he did to Whitney Houston. So let's get into it. Likes up. Everyone, please like and share. Everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Here we go.
Drugs just fuck everything. I hate what he did to Whitney Houston.
Yeah.
I hate that. That woman was everything to me.
Yeah.
Her drugness, Blair, her drug made this whole fucking world lose respect for that woman.
Mm.
You got DeMar Hamlin. The world is shaped up so much now, bro. We got DeMar Hamlin almost died.
Yeah.
And we stopped the game for him.
Yeah.
Almost died. But we got Whitney Houston. Lose her motherfucking life. And I just found out this reading. And you still had that motherfucking Clive Davis party?
Yeah.
The disrespect for that fucking woman.
Yeah.
The disrespect for Whitney. It's a fucking shame. Because of her drugs, it's the fucking disrespect for that woman. I just found out you still had a fucking party.
And that was his biggest artist. Ever.
Bro, that's sick.
Clive Davis. Yeah.
Fuck him.
So clearly Boosie was pressed. Y'all heard what he said. F him. But you know, that was low down and clearly nefarious at the end of the day. Okay. They still had the party. Timber Dan said exactly that always bothered me. Yeah, it was real low down. You all know that I reported on that. I talked about it because it was very much so low down and dirty. Okay. Now, would he have done that to anyone else had they not looked like Whitney? Well, I have questions. I have questions. So everyone, please get those likes up. Please like and share. As we prepare for this next nefarious story. Okay, let's get into it. Hold on, I'm sending something to my email real quick. All right. Okay, here we go.
I said no, Katt. Then he said,
Hold on, beloveds. I'm doing too much. This is called doing too much, okay? I have a whole lot going on. Please pay attention. Now let's talk about it. This man, a father, sentenced for drowning 3 children in a bathtub as a way to spite their mother. How many times do I have to report these stories? How many times have I talked about these same type of stories? Parents taking the lives of their children, and in many cases to spite the other parent. This is also devilish. I mean, who thinks of this? Okay, so Jason E. Carrolls murdered Bryant Carrolls, age 5, Cassidy Carrolls, age 3, and Gideon Carrolls, age 2, by drowning them in a bathtub, according to authorities. The Illinois man who pleaded guilty to drowning his 3 children to spite their mother was sentenced Friday to spend life in prison without the possibility of parole. Now, in victim impact statements, the kid's mother, aunt, and maternal grandmother called the defendant, Jason E. Carrolls, age 36, a monster, and said that losing Bryant Carrolls, age 5, Cassidy Carrolls, age 3, and Gideon Carrolls, age 2, was like a light lost. I don't get what they're saying. A light lost. How's it light? Now, like a light, like the light, a ray of light. Okay, lost. Now, as previously reported, Carrolls drowned the children in a bathtub in June of 2022 and left a note for the mother stating that if I can't have them, neither can you. This is all so sick. He did this to his own children, those poor babies. Did this to them because the mother wanted custody. He led cops on a high-speed chase after they tracked him down to Interstate 57 and 115. The pursuit spanned across multiple highways and involved several police departments, lasting for approximately 17 minutes. The chase came to an end when Carrolls crashed the vehicle into a densely wooded area off of Interstate 80. Now, as authorities extricated Carrolls from the vehicle, he made incriminating statements indicating that he was responsible for the deaths of the children at the Round Lake Beach home, according to Police Chief Gilbert Rivera. Carrolls also said that he attempted to die by suicide multiple times after killing the children, but claimed he was unsuccessful. Chief Rivera said that multiple body cameras recorded the confession. The defendant made a plea of guilty but mentally ill to 3 counts of first-degree murder on December the 15th of 2023. Now he's done all this and he wants to play the mental illness card. Goes on to say this sort of plea in Illinois operates the same as a conventional guilty plea, but establishes a process by which defendants can get better access to mental health treatment while in custody. They say our thoughts are first with the family today, state's attorney Eric Reinhardt said in a statement after the sentencing, saying this has been a devastating case for the family and community that will always have this office's support. The law enforcement officers from Round Lake Beach performed unbelievably in the most difficult of circumstances imaginable. We're thinking of them too. Finally, I want to thank our team of lawyers, Jeff Facklum, Eric Collada, and Mary Daly, and the victim specialist, Dawn Patch. These dedicated professionals worked tirelessly to support the family and ensure that this offender was brought to justice. This is just all so heinous. Let me show you who this fool is. This whole thug right here. Kill those children out of spite. That's him right there. That's him right there. Please pay attention. Hold on, beloveds. Okay, so now let's get into the next story. I'm so sick and tired. I don't know about you guys, but I'm so sick and tired of hearing about these parents taking the lives of their own children. This is real crazy. Okay, now here's the next story. Do you know who I am? Jail guard allegedly claimed his pet was drug sniffing dog. Claimed his pet was a drug sniffing dog and sicked the canine on a neighbor. Bjorn J. Stotzer, a jail guard, harassed people at his apartment complex, according to police. So they say a jail guard in Missouri is accused of harassing a neighbor, going as far as to bring up his own job and sick his dog on the man. Bjorn J. Stotzer, age 40, is charged with 2 counts of second-degree harassment, 4th-degree assault, and resisting arrest, according to CBS St. Louis affiliate KMOV. Now, cops in St. Charles, Missouri, claim that a neighbor at an apartment complex in the 800 block of Park Court said that he was cleaning out his van on Tuesday, and says that's when Stotzer went up to him with a husky-type dog in tow. Do you know who I am? This is what he allegedly asked. The victim says no. Stotzer allegedly described himself as a corrections officer and said the canine was a drug-sniffing dog. The latter of which was absolutely false, nothing but lies. Now, after Stotzer asked if the neighbor had drugs in his vehicle, the neighbor said for him to look. Hold on. I'm sorry, you all know these articles be having typos. As Stotzer asked if the neighbor had drugs in the vehicle, the neighbor said to him, look. But when Stotzer, he told him to go look, okay. But when Stotzer allegedly threatened to call the cops if the neighbor did not leave the complex, the victim demanded that he not speak to him that way, and Stotzer answered by charging him with the dog, also jumping on him aggressively. So him and the dog attacked the man because he didn't like what the man said. He didn't like his response. Cops said that Stotzer denied the allegation to them at his apartment, but officers were later dispatched to the same complex because he allegedly got in a woman's face, cursing at her for contacting police in the first place. Stotzer is also accused of telling someone, "What are you going to do about it?" and chest bumping them after they told him to leave the office. Stotzer is on administrative leave and held at the Warren County Jail. St. Charles County Department of Corrections Director Daniel King says. This is all so crazy. This is all so crazy. I want you all to pay attention to how some people just abuse their power, specifically people like this man. Okay? This is what they do. Anyway, hold on. Now, here's a Navy vet, an alleged January 6th rioter nabbed outside of Obama's home. He's now faces a raft of new felony charges. I'm sorry, did I show you all that other thug's picture? Let me show you all his picture real quick. Likes up. Please like and share. Thank you in advance. That's him right there. A whole thug out there lying, talking about it's a canine dog. My thing is, even if it was, you're not on duty. So why are you out here harassing decent folk? Well, they're here living their lives and minding their own business. Hold on, guys. Multitasking here. One of my videos, unfortunately, got deleted. I don't know how I did that. So now I have to reload it. Okay. So now let's move right along. So, after being charged for showing up to former President Barack Obama's home in Washington, D.C. last summer, toting guns, ammunition, and possible supplies for an explosive device, A federal grand jury has added 5 new felony counts to an existing indictment for January 6th defendant Taylor Taranto. Now, as was reported last year, Taranto, age 37, was arrested on a fugitive for justice warrant on June the 29th when he was found near Obama's home in the elite Colorama neighborhood in northwest Washington, D.C. He took off running toward the residence, but was promptly chased off by Secret Service before being apprehended hours later when he was found lurking in woods near a busy thoroughfare. Prosecutors say that in a van parked near the Obama's home, Taranto had stashed weapons, including firearms and ammunition, as well as materials that could be fashioned into a Molotov cocktail-like device. They also claimed the U.S. Navy veteran had been lingering in Washington, D.C. for months before the incident on June 29th. He often slept in his van near a jail where many January 6th defendants were detained. By the time Taranto was arrested last summer, he had been identified by sedition hunters, the community of online sleuths integral to reviewing open source footage from the Capitol attack in order to identify individuals in the mob. Now, Taranto showed up at Obama's home the same day former President Donald Trump posted a screenshot on Truth Social that appeared to feature Obama's home address. Lord Trump, what are you doing? What are you doing, Trump? Why would you do something so foolish? Prosecutors say Taranto reposted Trump's message to his Telegram account alongside a message of his own. So Trump's out here doxing people. Trump, you are going down. We got those, this is what he says, we got those losers surrounded. See you in hell, Podestas and Obamas. That's what he wrote in the notes. Podesta was a reference to Hillary Clinton's one-time presidential campaign manager, John Podesta. And Podesta is also someone who was mentioned in Hillary's nefarious emails that were leaked, okay, by Julian Assange and WikiLeaks. At the end of the day, he was talking about something very nefarious in the emails, and so was Hillary and other people, though they were speaking in code. Now, I can't tell you what they were talking about, but we'll have to talk about it on Patreon, because y'all know how ScrewTube gets down. Now, upon arrest, he was charged on 2 counts of unlawfully carrying a pistol, as well as a felony charge for unlawful possession of a large capacity ammunition feeding device. He was also hit with a number of charges tied to his conduct at the Capitol on January the 6th, including knowingly entering or remaining in a restricted building or grounds, or disorderly and disruptive conduct in a restricted building or grounds, disorderly conduct on Capitol grounds, and parading and demonstrating. Now, the new charges added in the superseded indictment for the Seattle native this week include unlawful possession of an unregistered firearm, specifically a Scorpion CS short-barreled rifle, unlawful possession of ammunition, carrying a pistol without a license, specifically a Scorpion CZ pistol, making false information and hoaxes, and notably obstruction of an official proceeding on January the 6th of 2021. Now, the false hope charge is tied to a bogus threat Taranto allegedly made about setting off an explosive at the National Institute of Standards and Technology in Maryland before he was finally arrested. Taranto's legal troubles don't end there. Eric Smith, the wife of Metropolitan Police Department officer Jeffrey Smith, sued him for her late husband's assault and battery and wrongful death. Jeffrey Smith died by self-inflicted wounds with his service weapon a week after he fought off the mob at the Capitol and was brutally attacked, including by being hit in the face with what might have been a crowbar. A defense attorney could not immediately be reached for comments on Friday. Taranto remains in detention and is expected to face a trial in July. Well, you know, this is all crazy as far as I'm concerned. This is all crazy. And at the end of the day, my thing is, as I've said to you all before, how come these people that engaged in this foolishness at the Capitol, how come none of these people have in fact, hold on, how come none of these people have in fact been charged with murder? For the people that lost their lives there, Brian Sicknick, the police officer, and as well as Ashley Barber, I believe was her name. How come? Because isn't that how the law is supposed to work? If someone dies while you're committing a whole felony, that you get charged with it, right? You have to take accountability and responsibility, right? How is it that a young Black teenager 15 or 16 years old can get 65 years in prison for being at a burglary, which he and his friend engaged in, and the police shot and murdered his friend, but then he's the one charged because he was there on the scene, committed a felony, right? So how come the same doesn't apply for these people? How come they're not getting the same smoking energy? I have several questions. Please pay attention. Please pay attention. Also nefarious. Now let's talk about Alexander Fan. Alexander Fan has been sentenced. The FBI accused him of stealing from January. The FBI agent accused of stealing from January the 6th, 2021 riot participants' home in Southeast Houston. Now, this was a college student. Hold on, I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this. Likes up, please like and share. Let me give my disclaimer because clearly this is copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Allowances made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, education, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute.
Then he said, what did he say?
Fair use is a use permitted by copyright status that might otherwise be infringing. Okay? So let's talk about it. This is all nefarious, like I said. I'm going to share my screen so you all can see this report.
Houston man who participated in the Capitol riot says an FBI agent stole from his home during the investigation.
ABC 13's Jessica Willey is live with a criminal case against the agent. Jessica.
Yeah, according to the indictment, this FBI agent did this for more than a year. It is unclear how many victims there are, but Alexander Fan says he is one of them. Pleading guilty to trespassing today, Fan was sentenced to 12 months probation here at the federal courthouse. A year and a half after Houston college student Alexander Fan breached the Capitol building, along with hundreds of others, FBI agents showed up at his Southeast Houston home to arrest him and execute a search warrant. That was June 2023. Pictures included in the criminal complaint were among the government's evidence. The then 27-year-old with no criminal history had a hearing and was released on a PR bond. Meantime, a surprise was waiting for him at home.
He went back home, and that's when he realized, by looking in his drawers where the property was, that it was missing.
Mark Thiering is Fan's attorney. He says the loss was several $1,000s. Court records state the next day, quote, Fan reported to the FBI that some items, including cash and silver bars, had gone missing from his bedroom. These items, it continues on, were not seized pursuant to the warrant.
Oh, he was on the assumption, that's the last I'll hear from them.
But 2 weeks ago, a bombshell at federal court. FBI Special Agent Nicholas Anthony Williams was indicted for theft.
It's commendable that the agency did take the lead and take my client's allegations seriously.
According to the indictment, Williams took money or property from multiple homes while executing search warrants. He is also accused of stealing FBI cell phones and lying about charges on his government-issued credit card. Tonight, his defense attorney, Chip Lewis, told ABC 13, quote, Nick has cooperated with the authorities from the outset of this investigation and will continue to do so. On Friday, Fan was sentenced to 12 months probation, and Thiering says he hopes to get his client's hard-earned property back.
We put our faith in, public officials to do the right thing. But I don't think this is indicative of any police agency or any federal agency.
Okay, so clearly nefarious. Please pay attention. All right, please pay attention. Buckhurst DC called him a fool, honey. This is all so crazy. Absolutely is a fool, as far as I'm concerned. Hold on. Now, I find it interesting because he's just ruining himself doing this foolishness, okay? You out here stealing, and they're saying that their loss was several $1,000s, and his client never expected his report to materialize. He was under the assumption, well, that was the last he'd ever hear from them. On January 31st, the U.S. Attorney's Office announced the arrest of Nicholas Anthony Williams, a Houston FBI agent. They said it's commendable. The agency took the lead and took my client's allegations seriously. According to the charges, Williams took money and property from multiple homes while executing search warrants from March of 2022 to July of 2023. He's also accused of stealing FBI cell phones and lying about charges on his government-issued credit card. This is all crazy. Like, what was he thinking? My thing is, how do you think you're going to get away with such foolishness? How do you think you're going to get away with such foolishness? This is all so crazy. I don't feel bad for either party. The criminal stole from another criminal. Exactly. You have to admit that. Lisa said, this is so horrible. Absolutely, beloved. Absolutely. I agree. Thank you for your contribution to the channel. Peace, love, and blessings to you. So they go on to say that the prosecutors have not disclosed the number of victims or how much was stolen during searches. The indictment states Williams allegedly converted the money or property to his personal use. They say we put our faith in public officials to do the right thing. But I don't think it's indicative of any police agency or federal agency. If convicted, he faces up to 10 years in a federal prison and a $250,000 fine. Well, here's the thing. Clearly, he was desperate. What is this all about? Okay? What is this all about? They stole our land, gold, diamonds, and whole life since Halle Berry. He only got 12 months. Wow. Let it be someone who looks like me. See how that works out. You already know how that goes. Exactly. Whoever said that criminal on criminal white-collar crime. All right, you got a point. Was he a model minority with a black man's name? Was that the criminal's FBI picture? At the end of the day, beloved, money for his side piece, says Gail. Listen, from one thug to another, this is how it goes down, I would imagine. But the thing is, you know, there's a lot of these agents who do such things. There's a lot of police officers who do the same thing as well. I'm not saying that all of them do it, but there's many of them that do. Do you all remember the time I showed you the video of the 2 black officers who went into someone's home? I forget why they were there, but they were searching and they were just stealing all they could steal. Do you all remember that? And they're so ignorant. I think they had their body cameras on at the same time. That's how they got caught. Do you all remember that? One's in the chat. Exactly. Timber Dan said no honor amongst thieves. Okay. Do you all remember that? They were in there stealing all kinds of stuff and got cold busted. Like, why would you risk your career and your freedom over something so foolish? Okay. Jonah and Danielle said they remember December. Yeah. Okay. December said criminals robbing each other. Absolutely. That's how it goes. Like Dan said, there's no honor amongst thieves. It's also nefarious. Now let's get into Eddie Griffin. Okay, I accidentally deleted this, so I had to go back and try to pull it back up because I had the edited version. All right. So with that all been said, let's listen to Eddie Griffin with his stand-up comedy routine where he's going in on Shannon. I'm so sick of people talking about Shannon, but we'll get into that in a minute. Likes up, everyone. Please like and share. Thank you in advance.
I said, no, Katt. Then he said, what did he say? Said he looked like a walrus, nigga. Said, I'm like, no, nigga, no. Nigga, he got Ricky Smiley so good. Ricky Smiley got on the internet making tea and started crying and disappeared. Ain't nobody seen him since, nigga. He ain't been no more posts. He just disappeared. I called Katt on the phone and said, nigga, you better be on the lookout for Smiley. That nigga wants to come smiling. Clive was the one to get you. He's smiling, nigga. And I said he might show up with a dress on. Shit, me and Katt, the last 2 that ain't going to dress, nigga. I called that nigga. I said, nigga, let's do the non-branded dress tour. That shit'll be hot like a mother. And Club Shay Shay. Yeah, Shay Shay. Gay gay. That nigga gay, nigga. That nigga sitting there with them tight ass pants on, with his balls and on Katt's face. And you Katt kept looking the other way. You can tell how that nigga drink, nigga, he gay, nigga. He kept on saying, now, Katt. That's dick. That motherfucker. Don't no nigga drink like that. Now, Katt. I said, no, Katt. Then he said, what he say? Cedric looked like a walrus, nigga.
Okay. All right. They need to lay off Shannon. All right. Enough already. Enough already. Okay. Now Eddie's clearly cracking jokes. I wouldn't think that he's hating, but just cracking jokes, trying to be funny. But at the end of the day, listen, Shannon's doing his thing. And he's had Club Shay Shay now for 4 years. Funny thing is, you didn't hear all of this stuff about him and his lifestyle until Katt Williams' interview. At least that's when that's the first time I started hearing it. You know, some people clearly are hating. Now, I'm not saying Eddie's hating because I like Eddie Griffin. I don't think he's hating. I think he's just making jokes. But for the rest of the folk out there, I think they're just clearly mad and pressed at the end of the day. I clearly think they're mad and pressed. T of y'all said just cracking jokes, right? Funny ones nonetheless, okay? But what he said about Ricky Smiley, you all remember when I showed you all that video when Ricky was sitting up there crying? Now, of course, it's not funny that he was crying, but what I did find interesting was the fact that this is after he got backlash for the whole thing with Katt Williams. He got called out by Katt, and then he got backlash too. And then he comes on there, and then he's talking about his son. Now, some of y'all said that, oh, his son passed away at this time of year. I get it. I absolutely get it. But my thing is, why would you go live and start crying? And if you did go live and start crying, why wouldn't you just delete it? Why wouldn't you just cut off the camera? He walked away from the camera, then came back still crying. I just thought that was all just, just for sympathy. That's what I thought. And I still think it was all for sympathy. That's just me. I could be absolutely wrong, but then again, I could be absolutely right. Please pay attention. Okay? So with that all being said, Jeff said he was definitely speaking against the venom. Absolutely. And speaking of Jeff ATL, beloved, one of the moderators accidentally blocked you on the main channel. And I asked you to send me your URL so I could add you back. And I see you sent it. I just hadn't gotten around to doing it. I forgot. So sorry. I'll do it right after this. Okay, so now I'm about to conclude this broadcast. I want all of the members of the spiritual channel to know that we're going live on the spiritual channel at 1:30. 1:30, we're going live. And for the rest of you, I will be uploading something for you. Okay, thanks for your participation and cooperation. All right, if you've not been following the spiritual channel, I absolutely think that you should. Okay, Belle of Hay said Ricky was being manipulative. Oh, yes, that's how I took it. That's how I took it. Okay, you know how some people play the victim, or some people try to, throw something out there to invoke empathy and sympathy, when they're being called out on their BS. I think that's exactly what it was. Now, like I said, I could be wrong. Okay. So with that all been said, everyone enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And always remember, beloveds, to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.
Sold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunsa. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen, why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got